Welcome everybody to the Horphany channel, and today what are we talking about?
We are talking about
How to introduce veganism to your partner or even family or even friends, right? We got a strategy that we want to show you guys on, just how you can, seamlessly and peacefully provide an approach such that they'll be maybe more open to trying it, because sometimes if we are very pushy, like we become the vegan police.
Yes.
Then
no one likes the vegan police.
People don't like that because they feel like you're not giving them an option, like you don't want to make them wrong, that hey, you're doing this, because nobody wants to feel that guilt or or that pointing finger that we all remember from like elementary school. So let's talk about some strategies on how we can, do it in a more open and peaceful way.
Yeah. First of all, just labeling it for whatever reason.
That's true. Vegan.
When you say vegan, people make like a
People are like, eh.
ew, and it's for whatever reason, whatever ideas, whatever story they built around that. So you can start just saying you're being plant-based, and then
Plant-based.
Yeah, it's plant-based. So then from there you
choice of words.
Yeah, and then from there you could start incorporating, like, without even telling them. I mean, like, instead of having, eggs or meat or dairy or whatever, make choices within the menu that don't necessarily have that. And so that just kind of integrating little by little. At family parties you can bring, coconut ceviche. Promise you it's going to be a hit. Everyone loves it. Just kind of integrating just different ideas. Yeah, and getting creative with it. And I mean, that's been an awesome approach to us. And then people are like, oh, that doesn't have shrimp. Oh, and they don't even know we're vegan. But then they're like, oh, how did you make that? And they just become interested. And then it just opens the door for them to be more receptive. And you can tell them about it and why and all the benefits, instead of just being all up in your face, like, you're eating meat, you're eating dairy, you don't do this. It's not pushy.
One other thing is that a lot of people have a misunderstanding of what being vegan or plant-based is. So like if you take your partner or family member or friend to go grab an acai bowl, right? And then you're having like acai, which is a berry, more blueberries, strawberries, bananas, coconut shavings, mango, right? None of that has animal products, so technically it's vegan. But someone that isn't vegan, that isn't plant-based, is not going to classify it as vegan, because they don't even fathom the idea of what it is or not. It's just an acai bowl, But you can say, hey, did you know that's plant-based? And all that means is that it doesn't have any animal products. It doesn't have like any meats or dairy or eggs or anything like that, right? So getting them to understand how a lot of things that we actually eat already, even like Oreo cookies, they're vegan. Why? Because there's no animal products, there's no dairy. Another thing that you could do is, instead of taking the approach of like, hey, let's go vegan like forever, it might seem like a very big commitment without knowing how to start or even why.
People are afraid of commitment.
One thing you could do is like, hey babe, how do you feel about having a vegan lunch like once a week?
Meatless Monday.
Just one meal once a week. Then it's like, I could do that. You're not asking for an arm and a leg. It's just a little pinky, right? So Meatless Monday. That could be a very simple way to just simply introduce it, right?
Yeah. And even in the Latino culture, like, there's always like parties and there's always this and that. Like, when you kind of know what is like plant-based or what isn't, you can get so creative. Like, you can make bean, and rice and guac and salsa tacos. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to eat meat. And people are gonna take notice, because trust me, they do. Like, oh, you're not eating meat? And then that's what a great segue to be like, no, I haven't been eating meat for X amount of time. This is how I feel. There's also in Latino community high rates of, because there's so much like dairy and everything we eat, and the cheeses and meats, all kinds of diseases. So I mean, just bringing it up as an idea, or you've seen documentaries or you've read studies. Goodbye Dr. Brooke, I forget her name right now, but Goodbye Lupus, just Google her. She has all kinds of stories or free stories as to people that have cured themselves from like diabetes, from autoimmune diseases, from all kinds of stuff, just by changing the way they eat. So if you are just like, hey, look at this, like I saw this, they're very visual. My mom at least is, and you show them like a real life person that's kind of benefited from making the little transition. You can be like, hey, let's do this for 2 weeks and see how you feel. If you don't feel good, then we'll go back to what you used to have. But let's give this a try for 2 weeks or whatever, and they'll be more like, oh, okay, it's 2 weeks, not a big deal. So that's another little.
Yeah, just try it out. You can see how that person responds after doing a meatless Monday for maybe 1 or 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And if they're open, say, hey, would you like to do meatless Wednesdays too, or something like that, and just maybe increase it to 2 days a week, and then maybe eventually you guys could do vegan for one entire day, and then for 48 hours, and just build up to it. But don't ask for such a big commitment up front, because it might be a lot to ask for, and some people they just don't know. So those are a couple tips that we have on how you can introduce a plant-based diet to your friends, family, or significant other.
Yeah, and then lastly, you could also just educate yourself, get creative with it in the kitchen. Volunteer to make breakfast. He makes amazing pancakes that you would never know are vegan. Just getting creative with it. Yeah, it requires a little of your time and kind of learning and educating yourself and getting creative with it and cooking. But when you're like, oh, like, have this, don't even say what it is, and then once after they ate it, be like, oh, it's vegan, or
that was vegan. She does that all the time.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, okay, because they have this idea of what they think it is, and they are actually gonna
So make them eat it first and then tell them.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, so pretty much.
All right, guys, comment below if you have any other ways that you would like to introduce it, or anything that you liked about our video. Comment below. We personally reply to all the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And more importantly, after you subscribe, hit the little bell. Otherwise, you won't be notified and you'll miss out on our next videos. All right, guys?
All right, see you later.
See ya.